All right. Hey guys, welcome to Trust Sports. Myself in the middle, Malik Howard. We have a guest with us, my guy George. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Good. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming through for
Of
our
course, man.
co-host who apparently he died. No,
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Liam decided to go to Jamaica, I guess. See, that's what shows you how big of a fan he is. During the Phillies, on the run and the Eagles, stuff like that, he decided to go to Jamaica. That's how you know he's not as a loyal fan as we are.
Listen, I've listened to this podcast a little bit to prep, and I'm shocked he's missing this playoff series because he sounds like such a big fan. So
Oh
I'm
no, no,
honestly
no. He's
surprised.
he's definitely hurting right now. He's hurting,
Yeah, I can imagine.
especially for tonight. But one segment we haven't been keeping up with, but I definitely wanted to get right into it. Is our trust of the week. We have George has his. I'm gonna start off with mine. My trust of the week. In the past we've done multiple ones. I'm a big like chocolate and peanut butter guy. Wawa. Preseason starting. But for me right now, it's my favorite season, October, getting into that fall weather. I love sweater weather. I think
Okay,
nothing tops that sweater weather. When it comes time to
like that.
get ready for work is the easiest thing. Throw a t-shirt under it, throw a sweater, and just head to work. Like you don't have to really iron anything. It's just
I like
in and
that.
out.
I like
So
that a lot.
I'm a huge fall guy. October baby. So and it really is the precursor to all the holiday seasons, right? Like Halloween kicks off, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff. So shout out to Spooktober. I'm a big Spooktober guy. And hey, sweater weather, man, you can't go wrong with it. You
You
can't go
can't
wrong.
go wrong with you 100%. It makes the mornings a lot easier. I never thought about that because I do it
Hell
now. I
yeah.
just throw on a quick t-shirt, a quick sweater, and
Yeah.
head off to work, man. It's easy,
T-shirt under and just head to work. You're like, yo, this is a breeze, bro.
easy, easy.
I love it. Go ahead, brother.
Mine is the tush push for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a huge Eagles fan, and there's one thing I can count on is a tush push, a brotherly shove. Jalen Hurts getting 1 yard every time, bro. Death, taxes, and a brotherly shove. The three guaranteed.
I love it. I love it. Yo, so okay, so so I just have to let me set the record straight. You're all Philly. Like
All Philly,
you're
all the
Philly
way
through and
for
through.
life, bro, from day
Okay.
one.
Okay. So
Allen Iverson was my first venture into sports. You can see him on my screen right now in the
okay.
background. So he
I
was my
like that.
first
Yeah,
venture,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I built from that.
Okay, so that's where the Sixers thing comes from too. Okay, so
Yeah.
I said, so I don't know how I'll get to understand your Philly hysteria, which side you on. If you're a Liam, if you're a craze, or you're in
Yeah.
between, or whatever it may be, right? I'll get to fill it out. But we were talking about the brotherly shove, or I want to disrespect you guys, call it. I'm gonna call it the tush push
All right,
because I
let's do it.
hate the fuck. You know what? I am big on as a playing football my whole life. Like I said in the past, I love that it's me now. It's for our time to shine and put you in your fucking ass and drive you back, right? And I began to equate this like it's boring football. I think that's what it turns into
Mhm.
because we know the NFL is an entertainment league, right? We understand that going into it. So
Of
I think
course.
I'm not for the discussion that it's cheating or it's annoying because they pick it up because anyone could do it, right? But the Eagles just do
Mhm.
it the best way. I am for the understanding that I treat like if you're watching Navy, how Navy runs that wing T offense. I don't know if you know college, but they run a boring wing T offense. They may win a game, but it's just a boring. It's going to get you yardage, but it's a boring and it's an awful game to play against.
Mhm.
Same thing goes for this right here, the tush push. It's boring, it's annoying because it's really not stoppable against the Eagles. And that's where I am at. I'm like, it's boring, do something else. I'd rather see a fullback, running back, hand it off, and let's just see if we can stuff it in. But I understand. Fuck it,
Listen,
keep it going.
listen, man. I hear you. I'm a huge Eagles fan, so obviously I'm very, very, very biased. Not even gonna
Of
sugarcoat it.
course.
But I hear what you're saying, and it almost has to change how a defense calls their plays too, because you almost have to prepare in the back of your mind. If you get a team to a third and
Yes.
one or fourth and one, it's not really a win for you as a
No.
defense, because it's like here comes a tush push, and now for the Eagles, the offense opens up like crazy. You can do whatever you want on third and one, because if you don't
Yeah.
get that 1 yard, you know you can fall back on
Yeah.
that on that. I'll call it the brotherly shove. So I'll keep it as a brotherly shove. But I hear you. I understand it because like
Yeah.
it's frustrating watching a play where everybody knows the outcome, right? The
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
sports is there's a mystery. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's a fact. Yeah.
When they line up to run that,
That's
you
a good
know
point.
exactly what's going to happen.
Mhm.
They say 92% of the time on New Heights podcast. So I'll shout out to them 92% of the time. So it's
I'm
I
I'm
hear I
here.
get it. I try to be an unbiased sports fan. I try my best to be, but I love it. I hope they
Yeah.
never ban it. I think they're going to for sure, but we'll see where it goes.
But not even like you bring up a great point. Like watching this Rams game really showed me. Like I was like, wait, like as a defense, just knowing the only way that they come off the field, no matter what, I feel like the Eagles are guaranteed. I want to know what the stats are of like they're going to score 3 regardless. They're getting a 3 like they're getting 3 regardless on every drive to a certain point. But no matter what, if it's 3rd and 5, it's 2 down territory regardless of where they're at. So
every time.
as a defense, knowing that, no matter what, as a defense, there are times where you have your low moments of like, all right, second and 6, we can try to get him. Let's just say he gets a couple yards. No. You have to be going full force every fucking play, and that's what kills you. Because I really think that if you take the brotherly shove away, they're still able to pick up first downs any other way they want to. I think, like at the end of the day, with that offensive line,
because you got that offensive line. You got they're athletic, they're big, they're strong, they're fast, and then DeAndre Swift. I knew he was good, but I didn't know it was like this. You know what I mean? He's real shifty. He's real explosive. He runs physical. So for a smaller guy too, but that's the thing. The Eagles don't need the brotherly shove. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't need that play. It helps a lot, but I feel like as a defense, you're on your heels because you kind of have to almost on, like you said, a 3rd and 5. I almost am more inclined to play more aggressive because even if you give up 2 or 3 yards, here comes a possible brotherly shove because they've done it from a 4th and 2 before. They've done it. You know what I mean? They've done it in longer situations. They don't always have as much success, but
so as
a defensive coordinator, it's in the back of my mind all the time.
Oh, for sure. I'm not a big Swift guy. I don't believe Swift to be that nasty because when I can tell you this, you put anyone behind the offensive line, you get what you get. And it's the same diagnosis. I don't want to get that from Eagles fans because it's the same thing that Zeke got when Zeke was behind that all amazing, Dallas Cowboys offensive line, right?
Zeke was a beast though. I think regardless, he was
for sure. But that's what I got all the time, right? During that time, it's like anyone can run behind that, anyone can run behind it. It's like, no, Zeke's nice with it. But I want to see Swift keep playing. Like I haven't had any like, oh my God moments from him yet. I've had like hit the hole, it's fucking wide open. You should pick up your hole. But let's see down the line because the reason I don't know if you've watched that episode when the Eagles lost the Super Bowl, me and Liam. The reason I said that they lost the Super Bowl going into the playoffs, I said the Eagles are not able to have a run game, and the fact that Hurts is your leading rusher is going to hurt you going to the playoffs, and you're going to lose the Super Bowl that way. And that's kind of what played into its role of Hurts doing too much, fumbling, and going down and having to do too much, right? If you hand that ball off, if you have a running back that you trust to pick you hand it off and do that. Now the Eagles have that. Now you have that guy you can do that with. So that's the missing link that I said the Eagles need to win that, and they definitely got him.
I'm nervous because he's never had this much of a workload before. I mean, I think I just saw that today. I think he's averaging 18 touches a game. I think his most of his career was 11 or 12. So I'm worried how is this going to last for a full season too. So I mean, we'll see. It's a good point about Hurts. We ran him like he was a running back almost last year. You know what I mean? Which you don't see a lot out of quarterbacks, maybe outside of Cam Newton. Like just the physicality. I'm saying like he runs through contact. Inside, you know what I mean? He tries to pick up those extra yards.
That was my biggest argument with Liam. That was my biggest argument with him. Like, you can't keep doing this. He's like, if it's working, you do it. I was like, no, this is not going to work for a lot of years. You're going to fucking put him in the dirt. Keep him above fucking ground. Like, why do that to him? I'd rather see him play Tom Brady's years. I'd rather see him go that far. And then if he needs to use it, he has in his back pocket to pull it out to go. But it shouldn't be his first go-to.
The Chicago game when he got hurt, me and my dad watch every Eagles game together. He pulls it, he runs, he has the rib injury. And he goes, why do they keep running the ball like this with them? I'm like, Dad, that's what makes him so dangerous is him running like that. And he's like, you do realize if he misses the playoffs, everything we did this year as the Eagles is for nothing. Because you need to keep him healthy. You got to get him to the finish line. So
I don't think it's not to be soft. It's not saying that he's soft or you want to protect your guys, but it's just longevity, smartness. He has the arm that he can last you forever. But we might as well stick with the NFL then. Let's just stick with let's stick with that. But I wanted to talk about the lows around the NFL, some of the games that like big ones that we wanted to at least discuss. We have the Bears beating the Commanders 40-20. Jaguars beating the Bills 25-20. I know Liam's happy about that one. Saints beating the Patriots 34-0. Broncos losing to the Jets 21-31. Through all those games, is there any one of those that sticks out to you like, holy fuck, it's either down, it's an up, or a surprise in your eyes?
The Patriots and the Saints sticks out for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, out of the Belichick, right? We've talked about him forever and ever and ever how great he is. I remember debates. Is it Belichick? Is it Brady?
Okay, yeah.
I think maybe we're starting to find out right now. It's probably Tom Brady all along, right? Not that Belichick's a scrub or anything like that, but
agreed.
But I mean, 34-0, and I'm surprised because that first game of the season they gave the Eagles some trouble. So I thought that I was trying to tell myself the Patriots might be a good team this year to justify our performance in Week 1. Then they get blown out 34-0. I'm like, damn, maybe we look that bad in Week 1 too. So is this his last season in New England? Is there going to be a short leash? I don't know. So that one stands out to me because, and I know Tom Brady's looking at that score and grinning from ear to ear, man. I'm happy to see that because people, I mean, he's got a chip on his shoulder. So that stuck out to me because I thought Belichick was better than that. So
I think the debate for me ended once Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. Like once that happened and he went down there with a busted team and won a Super Bowl, I was like, okay,
first year, right away.
Yeah, right away. Like,
right away.
And mind you, I hated Tom Brady growing up. Like, I fucking hated him so much. Like, I just think he was just getting calls he wanted. Like, the league served him up, right? But seeing his personality come out when he went to Tampa Bay, I was like, oh, you know what? I fuck with Tom Brady a lot more. And I definitely think that, like, Belichick's a genius. Regardless of it, Belichick created that Patriots way. Belichick created Tom Brady to have a system in which he succeeded in and use his talents to do that. But no matter what, you don't do that without Brady. I think, in my opinion, there's no one without the other. I think it's
I hear that.
Not fair to put it all in there. That definitely is it was a shocker to me. I've never seen. I would have never seen the day Bill Belichick goes out like this.
No way. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so surprised by it. 34-0. Like, but this brings you back to a time. I remember the Patriots when they had Tom Brady, lost to the Chiefs. I think 40-something to 10. It was in Kansas City, and I remember Donovan McNabb being like, "This is the end of the Patriots dynasty." They won the Super Bowl that year, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, I guess it happens, but this time there's no Tom Brady. You have Mac Jones, so we'll see. I'm with you. I don't see Bill Belichick going out this way, but my thing, I wonder if is he an old school type of guy doing the same things in the new modern world with younger athletes that need different styles of leadership. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he comes off as a type of no nonsense, like very overly structured, doesn't let you embrace your personality as much as some other guys. And I don't know if that's rubbing his players the wrong way. So
no, I don't think you get that when you go there. Let's say you take him let's just say like the Jaguars. Let's just say it happens with the Jaguars. You get players being like, yo, fuck that, man. We haven't won shit. Let's enjoy what we're doing and try to win rather than being so militant. There you understand it's the Patriots way. You kind of just fit right in, but like it's worked. I'm gonna follow what he says. I don't know. I don't know if you can sit there with that because he's such a genius and like watching a lot of his stuff, like he'll go back in time, like, yo, you know what? I never said I'll do this again. Let's bring this out because it might work now. Like he's that involved in it. I just truly think it's Mac Jones, and I wonder why Mac Jones sucks. And we keep talking about Ohio State quarterbacks sucking when they get to the league. Let's talk about Bama quarterbacks. But I mean, you have your guy if you want to take him from Bama. But I just think Mac Jones isn't that good. Like Mac Jones isn't the guy. He's your second string quarterback that's been starting, and that's it.
He's very average to me. And Dan Orlovsky brought up an interesting point. I want to hear your thoughts, but he said if you put Mac Jones on the San Francisco 49ers, he would look just like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that. I don't know. I don't know because I mean I watch Brock Purdy and like.
All right, so you want to get to my Cowboys? That's what.
No.
That's what you want to do to me. Okay, I understand. I get it.
I don't know. Do you think Brock Purdy's legit? Do you think Mac Jones is in a system that's not helping him, or do you think he's just? I think he's just average regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's the average quarterback. You know, there's so many throws that he's just missing that you're just like, all right, it's not there. Like right away, I write him off.
Yeah.
To whereas I go on the flip side with I have a lot to say on this one. I'm gonna speak my piece on my Cowboys, right?
Okay.
And I know I'm gonna get so much hate about it, but I agree with you. And this is from Liam's lips. He texted me. He said if you put Dak Prescott on San Francisco, he does exactly what Brock Purdy's doing. I'm not sure how I agree with that one, right? Because we know Kyle Shanahan's a genius. We know that it's his system that's running this thing, right? But when I was watching Brock Purdy, mind you, everyone playing the Cowboys is wide the fuck open, so it really doesn't matter, right? But he was making some throws. I was like, holy shit! Like Brock Purdy. I mean, Brock Purdy does have the ability to throw. Yeah, he has the arm. He knows he doesn't have the length, he can't throw the ball as far, but he can put it on the fucking money.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the arm strength, I'm saying. But watching that Cowboys game, I would say I've never felt more embarrassed to be a Cowboys fan a day in my life. Like this was so bad. I mean, I just want to be San Francisco once in my life. I've had to lose them twice in the playoffs, and I had to go and fucking lose to them right now during the regular season. It was embarrassing to see that we bent the knee to San Francisco, and it's totally understandable. But I like to let the haters or the Eagles fans react first before I really go all in depth into my Cowboys reasons for a loss and what my thought process is after that loss. So I wanted to hear what your take was.
I think so. Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure it was a good night for you.
It was a great night for me. I mean, I was so I'll keep it real. I was torn before the game. One of my best friends is a huge Eagles fan. We talk all the time, and I said I don't know who to root for because I'm looking at the NFC East and the 1 seed too, and the 49ers look really good. They look like a well-oiled machine out there. So I'm a little worried about them. They're coming to Philly. I'd rather us have at least one game up on them. I don't know if that's going to happen. So part of me wanted the Cowboys to win, and if we take care of business against them, then we're good. I'm not complaining that they lost. Obviously, I'm happy about it. But my thing with Purdy is nothing pops for me. It's not a big arm. He's not a great athlete, but he sees the field well. He's really accurate. But my thing is he's throwing to George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. So he's got all these weapons. He feels like he's just getting the ball out on time to his guys to do their thing. So I think two things can be true. I think he's playing much better than he was expected to out of college. Credit to him. And he's got Shanahan, and he's got I almost said Mike Shanahan, but he's got Kyle Shanahan, and he's got a great team around him. So I think two things can be true, and I'm frustrated by it because going into the season, I said we're better at quarterback, we're much better than them. I'm not worried. Guess what? That you can make a case Brock Purdy has been better than Jalen Hurts this year, and that terrifies me.
Agreed.
You can make that case for sure. Yeah, he's been better so far than Jalen Hurts. Hurts hasn't played his best football yet, but I can talk about that.
I mean, it's not completely like crazy. It's right there. If you're just going off of ability to win, yes, okay, Brock Purdy has got him, but you hit it right on the head. Watching San Francisco, I was like, okay, they're the undefeated team. Like, I just hope it's a close game and let's see if we can edge this one out. Watching San Francisco, I said they will fuck the Eagles up. Like, fuck the Eagles up. Like, I mean, like, I don't think I don't see his biggest struggle is going to be at defensive line. There's no way you could stop all the weapons they have. To see George Kittle, like, just I mean, it's against the Dallas Cowboys fucking championships, September champions, right? It's against that defense. But no matter what, they have so many fucking weapons. And I was like, holy fuck. And you have to consider Kyle Shanahan. Like, he's a weapon.
That's the thing. He's got all these toys and he just knows how to use them. So it's frustrating. So we'll see what happens. I mean, my thing is this: we have not played our best. I think if both of us, both the Eagles and the 49ers, both play perfect games, I think we're a better team. I think we win the game. My concern is we haven't played a perfect game yet.
Yeah.
They've been doing it every single week.
Yeah.
They haven't shot themselves in the foot once. They're a well-oiled machine. They're prepared every week. We're not at that point yet this year. We were last year. We're not there yet this year.
Yeah.
Are we going to get there? I hope so. Because if we don't, we're not beating San Francisco.
Only way you beat San Francisco again is if it's home. That's a one-up you guys have. It has to be a home game for you guys. The next thing is you just have to be able to stop every fucking person. Like, you have to be able to step up, and you really have to put it on Brock Purdy. You have to put Brock Purdy on his ass multiple times in order for him not to be gun shy, in order for him not to feel so comfortable, because he was so comfortable versus the Cowboys. But as I was saying, I said it was so bad that I started to watch like European soccer. Like, I was like, I'm gonna watch the David Beckham documentary and start cooking dinner. It was that bad. Like, once it hit when did you stop? Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, where I was like, why are all of our starters out? Like, and they're like, okay, we'll just bend the knee to them, put in our backups and let the game just fucking end. I, as a fan, was just like, holy fuck, you play. If you're getting your ass kicked, you stay in the fucking game and you get your ass kicked until the last fucking second on the clock runs out. I mean, I've never seen something as bad as Dak Prescott playing in that game. Dak Prescott, I'm so happy.
Dak Prescott. I want to ask you about Dak Prescott right now.
Oh, this is my thing. I've always said I love Dak Prescott. I love the Cowboys. He sucks. I have said he sucks. He would never. I would have felt better these last 2 years. I believe these last 2 years we could have easily beat San Francisco once without having Dak Prescott as our quarterback. Put any fucking body out at our quarterback. We beat San Francisco either years. We could have beat San Francisco in the playoffs. But I'm so happy that it happened. Continue to let Dak Prescott play because I want his case to be nailed, coffin, life sentence. he's out of there.
You're over Dak Prescott. Like
I love him. I love him, but he just can't get the job done.
He does not go down. So when LaShawn McCoy goes on national TV, he's like he's ass. You think
he's just a dick sucker. I hate LaShawn McCoy as we don't know who LaShawn McCoy is until he talks about the Dallas Cowboys, right? That's the only way. That's the only reason he gets.
I know who he is, but I hear.
Oh, I know who he is as a football player.
Right,
that's the only way his media persona elevates.
Hating the Dallas Cowboys.
Dak ass, right? And that's where you have that's the only thing that pisses me off is like when people start hitting me up, like shitting on the Cowboys. I'm like, okay, it's because Stephen A. Smith, all these guys shit on the Cowboys. So you guys join the train. Why is a Jaguars fan? Why is a fucking Lions fan? Why are the Giants fans hitting me up saying the Cowboys do, the Cowboys do? Are you fucking kidding me? Don't come to me and talk about fuck the Cowboys. Why do you have hate for the Cowboys? Like what? Like you have to wake up and be like the only way you should have hate for us is if you're a rival division. Like how do you have hate outside of your division for us?
Outside.
Like it's just the biggest dick sucker. I mean, I'm happy because I'm like, you know what? It can go two ways. It could be Jerry doing what Jerry does, and he puts in a blender again and makes a fucked up decision, which I know Liam and all the Eagles fans are like, I'm not worried about because he's gonna do the same thing again. He's gonna get another Dak Prescott, another Tony Romo. It's gonna be the same shit over and over. Or it can go what I'm happy and I'm optimistic about, and that's all I had to live on right now is to be optimistic about. Hey, it's a new regime. I can get a new quarterback now. Go get me a new guy. I want to see a new guy in. Fuck it.
But you guys were 12-5 the last 2 years, right? You guys won 12. You had won 12 games each of the last 2 years. It's not like you have this like trash team. You know what I mean? Like you got Micah Parsons, you got Stephon Gilmore, Diggs will be coming back from injury. Vander Esch, I love him, but he's always hurt.
He's out 5 years. He's out 5 weeks now with a neck.
He's always hurt.
Yeah.
And then the offense, you still have Zach Martin, you still have Tyron Smith, you still have CD Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, Tyron Smith is another guy that's too old. He's always hurt.
He's in and out. He reminds me of Jason Peters at the end of Jason Peters' career.
And then we go and get Jason Peters last year. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's just
for what?
Like, this is what we do. So I think that the new regime, like I've always said, I love Dak Prescott. He shows you that he's a good quarterback, and then he shows you why he's not a good quarterback. And then he shows you why in big time games, he is not a big time player to make big time plays. He shows you that every fucking year. How long can we take it?
I've seen it on social media all the time. I don't say this, but I see people on social media say he's just a black Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like he puts up these numbers. He has a great game, but like with the biggest moments, he just I don't know what happens to him. He just becomes average. It's not like he's bad, but he's just average in the biggest. He's just an
average quarterback, and it's like, man, we have the weapons, guys. Like, I know what it hurts me. It pains me to see all these guys come through Dallas and not be able to get a ring with all the talent we have. You mean to tell me you have Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Zeke? You have all these guys come through, and none of them have a ring. These are great players who deserve a fucking ring. Get them a fucking ring.
Is Jerry the problem, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I said if we still have Dak and Jerry in, we'll never win a Super Bowl. Never. And McCarthy. Get McCarthy the fuck out of here as well. After this year. Like, McCarthy cannot call plays. There's a tweet that went out like after the game. McCarthy has not left the facility. He's been staying there watching film for 20 hours straight every day. Doesn't fucking matter. The only reason you won in Green Bay is because you had A-Rod as well as I'm sure you had an offensive coordinator who's calling the plays which is Aaron Rodgers calling the fucking plays.
My thing about McCarthy is how do you have Aaron Rodgers only won one Super Bowl? And he didn't really get like back to another one. That was my thing with him. So I was kind of happy when Dallas hired him because I'm like, guess what? Aaron Rodgers isn't there anymore. So what are you going to do here? So
I was happy. I was happy for the moment, but it's like all I could do is just say, hey, Ohio State is 4-0, and that's where I'm at this year.
You're an Ohio State guy?
That's where I'm paying attention. Yeah. We'll get into later, but like at least I had to live on that mountain. It's just embarrassing to see. And like I can't wait for the day in which I'm able to sit back and say, we finally have made it, because I haven't been able to do that. My father is the front runner. He's been able to enjoy the years of Cowboys winning. He followed the Cowboys when they had Roger Staubach and all those guys. Okay. That's when he started liking the Cowboys. Then you have me, who I've come into doom. I was born the last year I was born, 96 was the last time they won the Super Bowl, and I have been living through hell ever since. Like,
who was your first Dallas Cowboys quarterback?
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo.
Yeah, that's it. Like it was Tony Romo, and like that's that I don't know if I remember Bledsoe. I don't know if was Bledsoe with the quarter with the Cowboys. I don't know if he was with the Cowboys or not.
He
But
was, and then Tony Romo came in for him. I
so
think
I
it was.
remember a
Yeah,
little bit of Bledsoe, I think, but
yeah.
majority of it, you
It's
know,
Tony Romo, right?
the fondest memory I have of that is when Tony Romo phoned the snaps versus the Seahawks. Yeah, that's, and I remember my dad freaking the fuck out, and I'm like, "What's going on?" That's the first memory of.
That's your first memory of
That's
Tony
when I
Romo
should
with
have
the
said,
Dallas
"Fuck
Cowboys.
that! I gotta make a switch." Like I legit asked my dad as a kid, like, "Dad, why are we Cowboys fan? Like, can we
Can
just
I?
change teams?" And he's like, "No, we have to sit in this. We sit in this." And I'm like, "All right, this is just what it
Damn.
is, man." But I'm happy. I'm happy. I can't wait for Dak to be out of here. I can't wait for all season moves and
But you
everything.
think that's it? Like you're giving up now? You don't think they can recover from this? And maybe what if they see San Francisco again? I mean, it was close in the playoffs last year. You guys lost by 7 points, I think, wasn't it? 13-6.
But it's an all around thing as well, to where it transitions into our defense, right? You're missing Trayvon Diggs. That's a big component that's missing.
Yeah, it's huge.
You're now missing Vandergraft. You're missing these guys who is just like Kansas City. And for like you said, me and Liam got an argument. I said there's no way you can say Swift is better than Pollard. Pollard hasn't done anything. I'm worried that now Pollard can't keep up with the snaps at all compared to what he did when he was with Zeke when they were splitting. So like now that comes into play. No, you Eagles fans just want to go see the Dallas in the playoffs so you can get a fucking easy roll through. Don't put that on me.
Hey,
Don't put that on me.
I'll take it. So
I hear you. Around the league, the games that I was surprised to see is the Commanders. I'm so surprised to see the Commanders kind of blow this huge run they've had. I love him to death, but Ron Rivera, I guess he just does. It looks like he doesn't care anymore. He like for me, it started off not going for 2 against the Eagles.
that's what I was celebrating like a maniac. I'm like,
Yeah.
how is he not going for 2? You get 2 yards, you win the game, you come out of Philly with the win.
Yeah. You don't go in overtime in Philly. That should be like number 1 rule. No overtime in Philly. If you can go win the fucking game and get the fuck out of Philly. Or if you lose, I'd rather you lose in Philly like that than do it in overtime.
Right.
But I can't believe that the Commanders are starting to hit that downward spiral. But hey, all praise to my guy Justin Fields, Ohio State guy, showing up and showing out. I mean, he used more the entire game, but that's what I need to see. I know it's not him, but hey, I would rather Chicago please tank, go draft Caleb Williams, and the Cowboys can come right in and get me Fields.
And get just
Give me Fields, please.
Do you believe in Fields like that?
Oh yes, I've seen enough tape on him since high school. He was on like the Netflix series in high school. He also, I mean, I'm a Ohio State guy, so I've been watching him since then. I trust his abilities 100%. You put an offensive line around him, you get him comfortable in the pocket, you have play calling around him that's structured to his ability. Why not? I mean, he was last year, like they forget last year, he was running for his fucking life.
He was
and putting up numbers. Like
and he's got a huge arm too. He's a
Yeah.
better athlete than Jalen Hurts, right? He's faster, he's more
Yes.
slippery, he's got a huge arm, he's bigger. So
But who does he got? Yeah.
people talk about him not being able to see the field that well, but Chicago's also a shit show too. It's
Yes.
what do you,
Yes, sir.
you know what I mean? So
Yes, sir.
I mean, he deserves a good shot. So hey, maybe Dallas will be that chance. Who knows?
He'd be a fucking.
You love that. You go crazy.
I will be sucking. I will be going crazy. That's where I would call super. And that's what, you know what? This is the first year I fell for the hype of like, holy fuck, this might be the chance where we make a run into the playoffs. Not Super Bowl, but we really might make a chance to the playoffs. And we might put up a good fight versus the Eagles or the San Francisco. That's gone. Like this is the first year I fell for like that Cowboys hype.
For that hype.
Not for like the Super Bowl year, but for that for this. On the opposite side, I have Broncos versus Jets. Huge, big fuck you to the Broncos by the Jets to come in and say, you know, it's personal. What do you think about Russell? Well, do you think it's over for Russell? The Russell experience is over, or is it a mix of Peyton as well?
I think it's over for Russell, and let me tell you why. When he was in Seattle, I was not his biggest fan. It just felt like so much bullshit. Like he would run around in circles, escape pressure, and it felt like he'd toss up a rainbow Hail Mary, and it always worked. I'm like, this is such horseshit. Like, how does this keep working for this guy? And I feel like when they won the Super Bowl, they were a run-first team. They were a really good defensive team, obviously. I don't want to say he was cared, but I'm not trying to say he was bad back then, right? He was a good quarterback. I just never felt like he was in the same class as Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees,
I agree.
Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he was.
I don't know. I might put him with Drew Brees.
You think so?
I might put him with Drew Brees.
One game to win. You got to win one game to save your life. You're picking Drew Brees or Russell Wilson. And is it close?
I'm picking Drew Brees. It's close. It's closer than you think.
You think so? And I'm not
suggesting
Russell Wilson sucks. I think he's a good.
No, I hear
player.
you. I hear you.
I thought he was great. And my thing with Sean Payton is I just feel like he just seems like such an asshole. Like, you know what I mean? He seems like such a piece of shit.
Yeah,
From the
yeah.
bounties back in the day that they had with the Saints to him
Yep.
talking shit about Nathaniel Hackett. And I'm like, my boy was telling me there's nothing wrong with him saying that because it was true. And I'm like, yeah, it's true that he wasn't a great coach, but it's unnecessary to say that.
Unnecessary. There you go. Yeah, yeah.
And he just makes the
100%.
guy feel like shit. And here come the Jets. They beat the Broncos. It's like, Sean Payton, where
Personal.
are you at now? You lost 70-20 against Miami, and you just lost to the guy that you swore up and down was the worst coach ever.
It was personal, and the Jets got it done, man. The Jets got it done. All right, cool. Last thing, are you off on Joe Burrow? How are your feelings towards Joey Ice? I mean, and before I answer that, this is the first one that I was like, I thought he would be a bust in the NFL because
You thought so?
I was like, there's no he's that because LSU was I love
LSU was loaded.
They were the best, one of the all-time greatest college football teams of all time.
LSU was loaded.
I didn't see him have this in him like he's had in the past at all. So seeing this, I was like, you know what? I take that back. Joey Icy is the man, but I don't like the NFL. Everyone's just like writing him off like he's done. I know he's going through his injuries, but what are your thoughts on him as a quarterback right now?
I think we have too small of a sample size to say that. I mean, his last 2 years, I think his passer rating was over 100 both seasons. Didn't he beat Mahomes 3 times in a row, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, sir.
And that's why they called it Burrowhead, right? Like, so I don't know how many people can say they have a winning record against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done by any means. I think he's got the banged up. He's banged up right now, obviously. He's recovered from injury before. I think he tore his ACL's rookie year, right? And he came back. He was just fine. I think he's going to be okay. He's still throwing it to Jamar Chase. He's still throwing it to T. Higgins.
Yeah.
I think he's perfectly fine. He hasn't looked his best this year, no, but they started 0-2 last year, and next thing you know, 12-5 or whatever it was, 12-4, I think it was, and then they go to the NFC Championship game. Mind you, they almost beat the Chiefs again. Yeah. Right? So he's very experienced. He's been deep in the playoffs multiple times. He's played against great teams. I think it's his 4th or 5th year, whatever it may be, but I think he's seasoned enough at this point. He's seen enough that he knows how to get his shit together and get back on it. I'm still a big believer in Joe Burrow. And mind you, he's never had a good offensive line either.
Yeah.
He's also dealing with a lot of bullshit in the pocket, and he still finds a way to get it done. So I'm still on the Joe Burrow train. I don't know how you feel about him, but
no, I still am. I agree. I just think how quickly we forget and how
quickly, man, it's quick. Like
it's so quick, and I hate that. Like I hate that shit so much. Like to me, that's why I have a distinct. Like I hate NFL fans who just like the NFL or fans who just like their team because they don't understand the longevity of a season, what it takes to get there, what goes into it. So it's like, how can you write this man off after last year where he just put up the last couple years, what he has done in his position? So you could never say like, I think the Bengals are done and Joey Ice is like, this is the quarterback he's going to be. Are you fucking kidding me? They have off years all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, I'm not here for it. But hey, speaking to being off, we gotta move to your Phils. We'll talk about your Phils in the end of college ball, and then we'll get into bets. Your Phils, man. Hey, I could say I'm not a big I grew up playing baseball my entire life, but I was a front runner kid. The only thing you see on TV is the Yankees. So I'm a Yankees fan. So when the Yankees aren't in, I can root for hometown Phillies because I'm just not. It won't move.
I'm on the bandwagon, bro.
I don't cry, but I grew up in Philly. I grew up in Northeast Philly my whole life, so it's like I get it. But seeing the Phils be tied up 1-1 and the way they went down with letting up, what was it, 4 runs in the
last 2 or 3 innings, it was
top of the 6 or bottom 6. I think it was top 6. Seeing that go down, are you concerned that the Braves have figured out the Phillies and now can get it done?
Of course, I'm concerned. I mean, this is one of the best offenses in the history of the sport, right? So I was concerned before the series even started.
Yeah.
With that being said, I always felt like the one team Atlanta did not want to play was us because of what happened last year, and because we didn't win the season series, but every game was close for the most part. The games were close.
Okay.
But of course, I'm concerned because every time someone comes up to bat and they show the regular season numbers, it feels like no matter where they are in the lineup, 35 home runs, 95 RBI, OPS over 900. I'm like, holy shit! Like, when's this gonna stop? Like, when's there one easy out? I'm definitely concerned, but at the same time, if you told me going into the series we'd split in Atlanta, I would have taken it.
Yeah.
But we were up 4-0 in game 2. We were up 4-0 in game 2 with Zach Wheeler dealing. I'm like, we had it. Because if we go back to Philly up 2-0, I think we slam dunk take the series. And obviously the game's happening right now as we speak. So I have no idea what's going on in Philly.
We gotta get out here. Yeah.
Hopefully it's good news. But it's definitely, of course, there's concern, man. I mean, Atlanta's fucking loaded. I mean, if I was a betting man, would I bet on us beating them 2 years in a row? This team, they were
Yeah.
defending champs from 2 years ago. They had 100 wins last year, 100 wins this year. Like, of course, there's definitely concern. But if any team can handle that kind of mental gut punch, it's these guys. This
Yeah.
team is the definition of they do not give a fuck. Like, they don't
Yeah.
care who you are on the other side. They're gonna do their thing.
I seen like a couple hours ago, two of the players, like Bryce Harper, and I forget the other player's name was, were wearing like the Colorado merch, and they're
Mhm.
walking into the stadium like it's personal.
Yeah,
So like, hey, it's personal for them. This is my problem. I think if the Phillies, this is what will happen. The Phillies are able to win this series, right? Go on. Philly needs that underdog mentality.
yeah,
They then go into the next series. I'm sure playing the Diamondbacks probably.
probably at this point.
You go and you say, we're on top. Whoever wins this series should win the World Series. Philly finds a way to blow it. Philly finds a way to blow it somehow, not having that underdog mentality to go ahead and put this shit away.
And that's what made the playoff run last year feel so great. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't expect them to win the wild card series, and they won. I didn't expect them to beat the Braves, and they did. I didn't expect them to beat the Padres, and they did. So it was just I was never disappointed. Now this year,
yeah,
it's like I'm expecting something. So it made the loss in game 2
yeah,
that much worse. So I hear you.
yeah.
I feel like especially this team of Phillies, they feed off that underdog mentality,
Mhm.
and it becomes different. Now you're the cliche. You go from hunter to hunted. People are coming after you. They're giving you
Yep.
your best shot. So
Yes, sir.
I hope you're wrong, but I
I'm
hope
here
you're
for
wrong.
it. I'm here
But
for it.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
A Red October in Philly is I can get down with that. I can get down with Red October. It's anything else in Philly or the Sixers as well. But like Eagles shit in Philly, I just can't fucking do. I can't ever do it again. Another
I'm
day in
gonna
my
be real
life.
with you. Eagles fans are the fuck. They're pieces of shit.
Do you
Like,
think they're the worst fans in the league?
they are. I don't want to say worse because they're great because of how passionate they are, but they can be some of the most annoying fans. Of course, yeah.
Okay.
They just get so irrational about things.
I
So
don't think
irrational.
I don't think they're made up of true fans. I think the Phillies are made up of true Phillies fans, whereas
Mm.
Eagles fans are made up of just wanting to be dickhead Eagles fans who don't know dick about football. All they know is go birds and bleed green. That's the issue I have with it. And hey, you're talking to a guy who walked to the Lions den. I walked to an Eagles game versus the Cowboys wearing my Cowboys shit. People were talking
Would you
me
do
out
it
of it.
again?
I would never go back to that motherfucker again. Hell no. Not for fear. I don't give a fuck, but it's just not worth it to me. It's just you have to be like, okay, do I want to be fucked with this whole time, and do I want to put up against it? And am I okay with knowing that my team's gonna lose? Like, it's like if I go this year, it's knowing that I'm gonna get beat both times. Do I want to show up in Philly and have to fucking go
But do
take,
you think
take that?
Eagles fans or Cowboys fans are worse?
Eagles fans. I mean, I think Eagles fans are like to me, they're top two. I mean, Liam likes to argue that San Francisco fans are the worst, Raiders fans are the worst because they fight a lot.
Uh-huh.
I say, Liam, that's not the argument. The argument is like if I showed you videos of how aggressive and just dumb and annoying and like you say, irrational these
Yeah.
fans are, like there's no way. Like there's a clip I always post, a Minnesota clip where like Eagles fans are walking. I mean, Minnesota fans are walking to the stadium, and there's just a line of Eagles fans saying "fuck you," "boo," fuck. Like I, as a man, can't take that. Like I can separate sports. Like I definitely got heckled. I got
Yeah.
heckled like a motherfucker, but it's a difference when it's like in my face, fuck you,
It's
compared to
personal at that point.
like
Yeah.
I have to punch you in the face. Like I can't take that.
There's
As a
no humanity to Eagles fans, and some people
none.
think that makes them great. Some people think that makes them
Yes.
animals. Depends
That's what
what side
feeds
of the
them.
fence. Right. It
Yeah.
does. It feeds them. So when you
Yeah.
tell, I'm not the same, but when you tell Eagles fans in general what you're saying, they'll be like, "Yeah, of course, fuck yeah, fuck them." Like that's why we're the best fans in the world. Like, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys are fucking nuts. Like, you guys are fucking insane.
And mind you, on the other scope of like it's I always fuck with Liam equating this to like race and like cops like that. I'm like, it's like saying like not all cops are bad cops. Like, of course, Liam, of course, not all cops are bad cops, right? Like, of course, in my section, I had great people in my section that like
Yeah.
when I left at the end of the game, I stayed the whole time, and that's when we got destroyed. Like,
Yeah.
there are fans like, yo, I respect you so fucking much for staying the entire game. As I'm leaving the stadium, like this guy was in my face. We got to like I pushed him, all this stuff. There was fans who took my side and was like, yo, don't fucking touch him. Like you can do all that shit. Don't fucking touch
Just
him.
don't touch
Like,
them. Yeah,
there's
that's
guys,
fucked up.
there's people there like that, and like that, no matter what, I understand that. But again, you have a guy who was that brashful to think that he could touch me.
Yeah,
and
that's
not get
fucked up.
fucking
Yeah,
spun on stuff.
putting your hands on somebody crosses the line every time.
Yeah. That's
Can words cross the line for you? Like if a
no,
Philly fan says something, was it ever going to get you to react a certain way, or do you feel like it's got to be physical
no. No, it didn't get me. Like there was no there's a kid who every time kept turning around to me and like I mean he was my age, but he was like he just kept turning around to me, be like, "Oh fuck you," like that. And I'm like, all right. I let him go until like the third quarter. He kept doing it, and then finally I was like, "Yo, bro, suck my dick. If you turn around one more time, it's gonna be a problem." And he didn't turn around anymore. It's like, I gave you a leash. Like I kept letting you go, but he was just like cornered in on me. And I was like, all right, bro, like to his girl, and his girl was like, all right, bro, stop. And I was like, yeah, like fuck you, like you're doing when you're doing too much, that's why I can't take it. Like
you're an intimidating guy too. Like you're a nice dude, but like you also look intimidating. You look like a big strong dude. You'd be the last person to turn around and be like, yo, fuck you. I'm like, no thanks, bro.
Like when I was leaving the guy, I was like, fuck you. I was like, fuck you, bro. But we're laughing to each other. Like that's cool to me. Like that didn't hurt me. It's the other shit. But I love it. That's what you're supposed to do. In my opinion, if I was an Eagles fan, I would be the same fucking way. That's what you're supposed to do, ride or die. But at least see it. At least honor. You're 100% right, Malik. That's all I ask. That's all I ask from you. But I think that hey, you're going to see the Diamondbacks for sure if you win the series. I mean, what a fucking
big if right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you go, big if. But what a fucking blunder to put what's his name, Kershaw to go in, Clayton Kershaw to go down. Like I worked some Saturdays and I was watching games. I was like, okay, top of the first, cool. I look up and look at the screen. I'm like, what the fuck happened to these guys, man? Like, what happened, man? It's crazy to see someone's career just like so quick, man. And I love him.
I love him too, but I feel like this is always happening to him, right?
Yeah.
Every time he gets to the playoffs, and I'm kind of prepping for today's show, and I'm looking at his career ERA, it's 2 something, and in the playoffs, it's 4.4 something. I'm like, holy shit, it doubles in the playoffs. I know they've got a World Series. I forget what year it was, but there was a point in time I thought he was never going to win a World Series, and obviously finally got it. But he's still. I thought maybe that would be the monkey off his back, and he'd relax after that because it's like, oh, you're a champion. They're not going to talk shit about you anymore. But holy shit,
can't get done. It sucks. I mean, you just gave them a game. Like that's what sucks. When you give someone away a game, like you're just like, fuck, we just gave this away to them
right away. You didn't even give yourself a chance from the start.
Yeah, no, and you're battling back. But hey, I'm excited. Hey, no matter what, we gotta. Let's see if we can check into the Phillies. The Phillies.
Do I want to know?
Yeah, let's see.
Do I even want to know?
Yeah, 6-1, baby, bottom fourth.
Shut up, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is a
holy shit.
Live
You're seeing my live reaction.
Yeah, 6.
What the fuck happened?
Scored.
I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I got you. I told you I'm not running out of the room. I'm going to watch. I got you. I'm here.
6
Holy
six
shit.
runs in the bottom of the third. That's crazy.
Go. What the fuck happened?
Hey, well done. Hey, we'll keep banging it through.
Let's fucking go.
We'll keep banging this through to get you out of here. We have that.
No, we're good, man. Take it over. We're good. I'm all in here. I'm committed.
Do you have a light in your room?
I do. Yes, I need to think about that.
Yeah, I got you. This is the new understandings to podcasting, man. It's new beginnings. You'll be back on the show and you'll get it together. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, buddy. All right, so we're gonna end it with college football and then move into possible Sixers predictions. I want to hear I know you're the Sixers guy. Me and Liam have made a decision that this year we're gonna be on it. We're really gonna be watching the Sixers and following from here on out. But before we get to that, let's get into some college ball. You say you're not really a college football fan like that, fanatic.
I don't watch it like that. I mean, I know what the major headlines are. I know what happened with Miami this week. I know about the whole fumble. I know about Shedeur Sanders and the celebration and all that. But so I pay attention to these things. I have opinions on them, but I try not to blast them because I don't watch as much.
You don't watch enough. Okay.
But obviously on a podcast, I'm supposed to share my opinion. So whenever you're ready. But
I love it. So I always say, if you're a true fan of football, take 1 year to really engulf yourself in the college football Saturdays, get into it. This is my number one thing. Like, and I think it's really because my dad was a big college football guy. Like he's a Bama fan and he's a bandwagon guy. That's why I shit on him for loving Bama. Every chance Bama loses, I make sure I'm in his ass. But I love college football because college football to me it's all day event Saturday. Like it's top notch football from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep of guys who are putting 110% on the line. Like you would have never seen what Dallas just did against let's just say Alabama versus Auburn. You don't see that, right? That big rivalry. You don't see that happening like you do in the NFL. So this is why I have a passion for that. But right away you brought up that Miami game. So we have a quick clip here. We can take a look at it.
I want to see it again because
it's nuts. But it's gonna at least talk about the issues at hand and what never.
You should not be handing this football off. Right. I don't know what Miami is doing.
That's it. And here's Chaney. The straight ahead, tackled, and the ball popped out.
You got to read the clock. Read the card. To me,
Georgia Tech has it with 26 seconds left. 3 to the field for King. Up in the pocket, going to loop it down the field, and it is caught. And that's Rutherford. Here's King from the pocket. Flush to his right with 6. 5. Going to loop it downfield. And ball is caught. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. With 1 second to go in the ball game.
Now you start seeing right away the student section throwing shit on the field for Miami, right? Yeah. Now this is a microcosm of bigger things because this is a Miami team who is heavily they're ranked 17 right now. That's huge for Miami. Miami isn't the old Miami, right? This is a Miami that's they're 4-0. They beat Texas A&M. Huge W for Texas to beat Texas A&M going into year, right? Early. So this is a possibility of a team now making a huge change back into the old days of now being top ranked teams to blowing it versus a non-ranked, has been in contention Georgia Tech team because of bad coaching. At the end of the game, you have that meme that's going away everywhere of the player legit being like, what the fuck are we doing with 30 seconds left? And it was just crazy to see.
Dude, I'm never the type to blame one person or one play for the outcome of the game because there's 59 minutes before that, right? And it's 20-17. You gave up 17 points, you only scored 20. But
yeah,
that was the craziest display of coaching in the last minute 100%. I have ever fucking seen. I don't know why he didn't take a knee. I don't know why, if you ran the ball, why didn't you tell your players don't fight for extra yards? If you're the offensive lineman, don't start pushing your guy forward.
Yeah.
2 hands on the ball. First of all, I don't even know if he fumbled the ball. It looked like his arm was down to me, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But still, to call that play, and then the worst part about it is after the game, the first thing he said was not, I called the wrong play. He said, we coached put 2 hands on the ball and put 2 hands on the ball. I'm like, bro.
Bad.
Bro, if you're a leader and you're a man amongst boys, because they're essentially boys, right? Be a man, set the example, and take accountability for what you did, which is making an all-time dumb coaching decision because you win the fucking game. If you take a knee.
And I think that there's only been one time in which taking a knee has lost a game in the history of football, right? And that's how you lose a locker room. You just lost it. You lose commit. You lose the locker room by saying, not taking blame, but being like, we tell him to coach up, hold 2 hands of the ball. No, you dumb fuck. You say, you know what? That's a guy trying to protect his job. Nope, I made the wrong call there. Wasn't realizing the clock. It was a mistake on my part. Don't blame the kids. I don't think anyone's blaming the fucking kid for fumbling. He's doing a job. Fumbling fucking happens. So it's unfortunate that coach just probably lost the locker room, and definitely we probably won't see Miami get back because this is all it takes for the trajectory to go. All right, it's over. That's it. We're out of there. The next game I have a big opinion on this one. Is Colorado beating Arizona State 27-24. But I've been, again, huge fan of Colorado, been following them. You know, they're the biggest thing in college football right now. It's amazing what I'm seeing. The only issue I have with this game is at the end of the game, Shador going to the student section and flexing the watch, right? It's the only thing. The only issue I have with this is you're supposed to fucking beat Arizona State. You're supposed to be these top-notch players that go out there and fucking destroy these guys, right? I don't know if you watch his other son, Junior, he has his YouTube channel, Off the Wall Media, right? And legit, the clock strikes. Mind you, before the game, they were all booing them and stuff like that. So it was already a lot towards the student section that they had, a lot of noise they had already. You see him go to his brother, yo, follow me. And his brother's like, I got you. And they're following him to the student section to do that. Now, I get it. We're in this, it's media driven, it's NIL deal guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to me, I won't say classes because talk your shit, but not necessary. And I don't think you deserved to throw it up in the air in that moment for beating them by a field goal at the end of the game, like 30 seconds left in the game by the field kicker. The field kicker could have done that, not you, bro. I mean, you let them down, but I need some things. And there's a lot of drama going around right now of him padding his stats, not taking some snacks like that. So it's a lot of noise around him. And that was one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way of like, we don't like that one. I didn't like that move, but do what you do.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Listen, he's Deion Sanders' son, obviously, and Deion Sanders was prime
Yeah.
time, right? So they have that
Absolutely.
personality. They're showing off, and then respect to Deion, one of the greatest athletes ever. Respect to
Yes,
Shador
sir.
Sanders, he's doing his thing. But I see what you're saying. It's like at some point you get too cocky, right? You stop paying attention to detail. Is this going to come back to bite him? This type of personality, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's part. Yeah, I'm torn about this because part of me is it's a college kid. He's having fun. He's doing
For
his thing.
sure. For sure.
But at the same time, like imagine Brock Purdy. Imagine I'll use the Eagles as an example. Imagine Jalen Hurts plays like complete dog shit, and we steal a game from Arizona or from the New York Giants, and he's going crazy. Be like, yeah, I fucking did that. That's right. Like it's my world. Like part of me's gonna be like, bro, get your shit together because we got
Yeah.
bigger goals
Yeah.
and we got
Yeah. I agree.
pride. Like, bro,
That's
chill.
my point.
We gotta get our shit together.
Yeah.
And I know Deion's probably all for it because Deion's that type of personality too. So
Yeah.
I'm so torn. I'm so
Yeah.
torn about it because I like personality in sports. I do, but at the
100, me
same
too.
time, like if I'm him, if I'm in that shoe, I wouldn't do that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't do that at all. Because for me, there's a certain standard. It's not about it's about winning and losing. But if you're not playing to your standard, you're
Yeah.
gonna be in trouble. Because Colorado, they're not. I mean, they were ranked briefly, but they're not. I don't know if they might still be ranked. I'm not even sure, but
I don't think so. No.
I don't think that they're not right. So
No.
it's you're still a program that's growing and developing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, no one's
mean,
writing him off.
they're
Hey,
shooting themselves a little bit for sure.
yeah, if he does on the way out, I'm good with it. If he
Yeah.
goes to center field, shakes hands, and on the way out, he sees the fans booing him, throw it up and go to the locker room, I have no problem. It's running towards them, throwing it up, celebrating a W like we got this shit. Like you should have fucking bust our ass. But again, I would hold more weight to that next year when they get the recruits in, they get a better class. Then I would be like, I could definitely say shut the fuck up. But right now, talk your shit. I get it, but just keep a blind eye to that right there.
Because it's gonna put a target on your back too.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Target was on their back when they fucking
That's
came
true.
in.
Expensive.
Last thing, Texas blowing it versus Oklahoma 30-34. Now, I'm not sure if you know, I am a old school fan of Texas. Grew up loving Texas. Horns up. I'll never say horns down. But I grew up loving Texas. I even have I wrote to them in like kindergarten, and they wrote me back all this stuff. I think because during that time, that's when Vince Young and all those guys were there. So that's all I would see on TV. They don't get it done. I mean, we go through, and this is my issue I have with Texas is every year they're highly, highly touted. They're gonna be highly ranked. Every year they go in and they blow it once, and then the season is done for them. This year was their year of holy fuck, they might actually make the playoffs.
Beat Bama in Bama, right?
They beat Bama. They're going into this thing. I knew me and Liam both knew this Oklahoma game was gonna be close, and it was gonna come down to this. And I think that we have to finally start realizing that Steve Sarkisian, he's like the coach there. He was a coach at Bama as well. He just can't get you done. He can't get you a complete season. Your season has to be complete. You beat Bama, complete the fucking season and make the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs now because of this fucking loss to fucking who was it? To Oklahoma. And it was a shock. And I was like, I think we have to start being real with Steve can't get it done. At the end of the day, like you guys are a top ranked organization. How many times can we have to go through? One loss derails their whole season. Even if it's an Alabama, even if it's a close game, these close games you have to pull out, and they finally were doing it and shit the bed once again.
I mean, and that's the beauty of college football, right? Because so few teams make the playoffs, every regular season game almost feels like a playoff game, especially this.
Exactly. Thank you.
Top
I
10
see it.
going out. That's the thing. So it's not that I don't follow college football because I hate it. It's because I just don't feel like I have the time. But that's what makes it every game. I was excited for the Alabama game early in the season. I actually watched it from start to finish. I was like, oh, this is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's a double-edged sword because it sucks that a game in this is like week 6 or 7 that your season's shot because of one game in week 7. But that's the way.
I mean, you have to think this is my love and hate for Ohio State. Ohio State. We now go into a year. We're making the playoffs all year. We go down now. Our last game of the season versus Michigan. And Michigan's number 2 right now. So it's like we lose that game late in the season. We're out of the playoffs. It's
but you lost to number 2. Like, still, you deserve another shot. Like that's
what happened last year. I don't think we get that again this year. Like last year, we squeezed our way in. So
it's tough. There's a lot of good teams, obviously, but at some point, I mean, at some point, somebody's got to be held accountable. Right? When the standard is expect to make the playoffs, expect to make a run, and you keep blowing it at one particular point. But you have to ask yourself too. Like the context kind of matters. Like Oklahoma's no joke either, right?
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. It's just tough because
No, but if you're touted to be that guy, see, look, a top-ranked Alabama, they may squeeze their W's through, but they don't fucking lose them.
yeah,
That's the difference. If you're a
yeah.
top-ranked team, no one's saying you blow these teams out, but you at least squeak through with a
You
W.
got to come through when it
You
matters.
have
Yeah,
to get a W. You have to get a W.
You have to
You
get it done.
You squeaked by Alabama. Now you have to squeak by Oklahoma. There's no problem of these SEC teams. You might not get top ranked because the scores are close, but they're going to value that of like, all right, these are top teams who are pulling it out, and they're going to get ranked better as well because it's a close game. But at the end of the day, you gotta get the W. You have
If
to
they were on the table, you don't think they get in the playoffs?
No, I don't think they sit now at the playoffs. I think now they're like going to be ranked out of it. Let's see, Texas football. Yeah, it's what, top 4?
Yeah, they were 9th, right? Coming into this
they're
one.
9, and they're gonna
And they had number 5 Oklahoma.
Yeah, they're 9. And I don't think they play anyone crazy coming through the end of the season. Yeah, they don't play anyone after this. They have Houston, BYU, Kansas State, TCU, Texas, Iowa. Yeah, they don't have a chance.
Close game too, so you're that close to finally making that statement. And then
you would need a lot of shit to happen with like Ohio State,
right.
USC, all those guys to Georgia to kind of for it to just fall apart for you. Yeah. That's the only way to get it done.
2 of those teams have to lose a game.
Pretty much. And at that point, Michigan as well. But at that point, it's each other losing to each other, so it won't go too crazy. Hopefully, it won't go too crazy. But last thing on sports, your Sixers, man. How are you feeling about the Sixers going into the year? What can I expect from the Sixers to be a fan?
I fucking cannot stand this franchise, bro. I fucking cannot stand this franchise. I've never hated watching a team more in my life than I have against the Sixers. Bro, it's just a fucking sucks because like the fan base is so split. They either love the process or they hated the process. They either love Joel Embiid or Joel Embiid's a fat piece of shit that can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's never. So I can't talk to anybody about it because nobody's rational and down the middle. It's always one side, and I'm like, I fucking hate all of you.
Okay.
They keep blowing it in the playoffs, and I'm not the Embiid's a fat piece of shit guy, but he keeps fucking blowing it in the playoffs, like, and it's always excuse after excuse after excuse. But you just got me. I might pop off for the next hour or 2. Call me off, and the show's got to be done. But
you're good.
It's just like we went through this whole ass process.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it worked. I think it was good. We got draft picks, we got cap space, but we blew all the draft picks. So I know this is supposed to be out this coming season, so I'll get to that. But
you're good.
Obviously the James Harden situation pisses me the fuck off.
So what exactly is going on that? I heard that he wanted out. Now he's cool being in. Now where does he stand?
So he came to camp, but the talk is he still is expecting a trade. My thing is this guy talks about winning, right? He wants to win a championship. You got the league MVP in his prime. You got Tyrese Maxey, up and coming star. Nick Nurse is a championship winning head coach. The fuck do you want? Like, what do you want to where do you want to try to go? So, and then last year you're up 3-2 against Boston. And if you did what you say you're about, which is being a superstar player, you don't shit the bed in game 6 and 7, and you probably move on to the next round. You play Miami. Who's stopping Embiid on Miami?
Yeah. I mean, I heard Kevin Garnett and all them talking about he keeps James Harden keeps asking to get out. And they're like, you only get so many of these, and you're getting older. You better sit the fuck down.
Philly, like, what do you want? Like, what the fuck do you want? And I get he's mad about Daryl Morey not offering X amount of money. I don't know what exactly it is because there's too much she said, he said. But my thing is this. So he's pissed off about Daryl Morey not talking to him before free agency opened or whatever. But we had tampering charges last year, so that's a factor too. And then something about if I opt in, you'll trade me. But if you wanted to leave, bro, fucking opt out and sign somewhere else.
Yeah.
You take control of your own destiny, opt out, sign somewhere else. But you opted in, and now Daryl Morey has to do what's best for the Sixers. That's what he's paid to do. And in fact, he can't understand that and considered holding out for that reason. I'm like, bro, request a trade, but if you want to win a championship, what better opportunity than here in Philly?
Yeah. Nah, I feel
but I'm just like,
yeah. It was amazing when me and Liam were talking because I'm not the biggest basketball fan. I hate watching it. For me, it's just so fucking boring, and it doesn't do it justice for me. I love going to the games, but we were talking about like how long have we been trusting the process, and he was like, "Dude, that shit started like our senior 2015 in high school, like when we graduated." And I was like, "Holy fuck, bro! How long are we gonna trust the process before they figure out the fuck?" If I was a diehard Sixers fan, I would be fucking fuming just like everyone else is.
You can hear me right now, man. I'm fucking it's sick to my stomach. But like, if we don't, I mean, the Bucks just got Dame, and the Boston just got fucking Drew Holiday, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like
the Bucks gonna be out of this
what the
fucking
fuck?
world,
Like
bro.
what are we supposed to do? It's just like
And Dame went to, you said Miami, right?
Dame went to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
So him and Giannis are together. I'm like,
Yeah. He was supposed to go to Miami though, right?
the talk was he was supposed to go to Miami. I don't know. So I was shocked when I got the notification it's going to Milwaukee. I'm like, man, fuck that. You got to be shitting me. So
I mean, he was trying to go to. I saw some things out there like he found out he about to go to Miami. He got a divorce immediately to go get that ring down in Miami, and that's what it was.
Wait, what? I didn't know any. Wait, what?
Yeah, he got a divorce. So once he was where he was at, he just got divorced. So he was like, "Oh, I'm out to Miami. I might as well just fucking call it off
I'm
now.
divorced. I'm out.
I might as well call it quits and just figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do in Miami because you know what Miami looks like."
Yeah.
So then he's like,
right.
Fuck, now I'm in
Now he's in Milwaukee. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
he's like, oh fuck, that's a huge difference. So that was hilarious. Like, yo, he got rid of one ring to get another one, but now he's hungry. He's hungry, I guess. But I believe in Dame. I love Dame. If out of all my favorite athletes in basketball, like if I were to like really love it, I love Dame's game. And for me, I love the way Russell Westbrook used to play the game. That was my like. I love
on his sleeve. Yep, just goes all out. 100%,
the nasty, the grittiness, the fucking craziness. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you think that John Morant is able to figure out with having Derrick Rose mentor him this year? Like we haven't heard shit from him all year long. The NBA was all in on him. He's lost it all. What do you think he's able to hold it together this year?
I hope so, but I don't know because this is a case where it's like he if you look in his background, apparently he came from a pretty like solid household. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's acting a type of way, but he didn't grow up in that environment, type of community or environment. So I'm confused why he's even acting this way.
Yeah.
And my concern is people that did grow up in that environment are going to feel some type of way about that.
Yeah.
I don't want him to get into more trouble with those type of people. Like what is like, and it just, I have no idea why he's doing this. I do think Derrick Rose being there helps him. I do think all of us, we make mistakes. You got to remember, these are, I forget how old we were getting. I mean, we're not old. We're still young, but he's younger than me, right? Yeah. And I think he's probably you were born. He's younger than us. So people make mistakes. People do dumb shit. So hopefully he grows up. And I hope so because I love watching this guy play. When he doesn't jump, he flies, bro. Like just like I love watching him play. I go crazy every time he goes to dunk a ball. It's so fun. It's so exciting.
Don't you wish? Like I've always wished. I don't know. Are you able to dunk?
No. I've gotten really close. My problem was I couldn't grip the ball. So I'm able to jump and grab the rim, but I can't. Like if I jump, because I can't jump like this. So I gotta like use my hands.
I got you.
But the ball will just slip out of my hand. So I
always say that's probably one of the best feelings to be able just to fucking just come down and
I wish I could tell you about it. I wish I could tell you about it.
He comes from the fucking asshole and just fucking jumps in the air.
He's like 6'2" and his head's at the fucking rim. I can't even begin to imagine getting that high. I can't.
It's disgusting.
I can't imagine it.
Yeah, I love it. But hey, I don't know if they'll be able to pull it out, but I'm definitely gonna be a fan. We'll definitely be at some games. We'll definitely be covering. So when we do need some Sixers talk, we'll make sure to bring George in for you guys. He's definitely
happy to come on. Appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Hey, hold on. So we got one more thing. We got the locks. We gotta get into our locks. Like, guys, please be a dog. Trust in us. Trust in our abilities. We had a bad week. It was a bad week for the boys. We didn't get the job done. We definitely took all L's. Liam took some L's, but Liam's record is crazy. He's above. If for anyone that's new to betting, if you're above 50% in your bets, you're amazing. Liam before last week was 100% on everything, and that's going into week 3. So I'm mad. Like that's nuts to have. And he's not picking all like just easy wins to get you $20 here and there. But again, my parlay, of course, if it hits, if one hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. First week we hit for a $20. What was it? $30 parlay that turned into $250, right? Hit on all ends. Last week's parlay, we just missed the mark by the Colorado game not going in the over. So it happens. Completely understand. But I don't know what happened. Okay. But for my parlay, we'll get Liam's and I definitely will put it in for you guys. But for my week's parlay this week, I have Arkansas versus Alabama over 46.5 points. Oregon versus Washington. It's going to be a fucking crazy game. Oregon versus Washington. I'm hoping Oregon is able to keep it up. You know, Washington has like that all-pro quarterback that's there, so he might have a game for himself. But at least I'm hoping putting on the money line, Oregon to pull out the W. USC versus Notre Dame. This is surprising to me that Notre Dame is favored in this, -3. But USC, I'm taking USC in the over. That's a crazy one to me. I don't know why. I understand it's nuts.
Notre Dame's favored in that game?
Yes, Notre Dame is favored versus USC right now. I took USC. I believe this is the one time I'm believing in Caleb Williams to get it done, but I understand it a little bit with Notre Dame having a streak of like trying to get it back on track. This is a Notre Dame who took a huge L versus Ohio State, is a good team, and a USC team who has struggled, but I think that USC is able to pull this out. So I can see you go either way. If you don't want the big, again, I'm not giving you an eight leg parlay for big income. I'm trying to at least do it 4 legs to keep you into some winnings. And then I picked the over 54.5 versus UCLA and Oregon State. I feel like no matter what, I'm comfortable with that one. And I put it on like, it's plus 1,787 odds. So $20 bet could turn you into $377. That's that. What else can you do? And that's only a 4-leg parlay. Okay. So take it or leave it, but it's at least a 4-leg parlay. Okay. But we wanted to speak on at least etiquette of bets. So if you decide to what is it called? Like not like fade me, and fade means every bet I make, you do the opposite of. Do not fucking tell me you're fading me, because I'm cutting you off as a fan and as a friend that you just faded my bets. You don't trust my bets because we're both not hitting now. You just ruined it for the ecosphere, because I'm a very superstitious person. I don't even like telling my bets because I'm like, this fucking person has bad luck, and so come fucking back and bite me in the ass. As well as if the bet is still going, no matter what, if it's halftime, we're up by 50 fucking points, 60 points, you never say, bet looks good, I'm so happy. You don't fucking cash out and say good fucking bets until that clock starts fucking 0 on all our bets. You never fucking call it in. That's going to ruin the superstition for us. So just understand the rules of the regulations and just say, let's have a day, boys, and let's get this job done. And you stick with us. You ride with us, do it out. But George, do you bet or do any gambling or anything like that?
I'm actually, my wife's a big bettor in this family, so
okay.
She's the one that puts on the but I mean, if you really want, I can run through every NFL game this week and I'll pick a winner right now every game. If anybody wants to do a parlay.
Oh, a 20-leg parlay?
20-leg parlay. This is guaranteed. So put everything you got on this parlay. Let me pull up. Okay. What are we, week 6?
Yeah, NFL games. Right. Yeah.
Chiefs over, this is no money line, right? So here we go.
Yeah.
Chiefs over Broncos, guaranteed. Ravens over Titans, guaranteed. Dolphins over the Panthers, guaranteed.
I'll give you that.
Shit, this is a hard one. Texans over the Saints, guaranteed. That's the upset. Fuck it. Hey, fuck it.
I like that one.
Commanders over the Falcons. They're going to come back hungry. Okay. Guaranteed. Jaguars over the Colts. Trevor Lawrence finally finds himself and pulls out a big game. Guaranteed.
And what's his name is hurt as well for the Colts.
Richardson's out.
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals beat the Seattle Seahawks in Cincinnati. Guaranteed.
Uh-huh.
Vikings go into Chicago and do their thing. They get their second win of the season. Guaranteed. Okay. The Cleveland Browns upset the 49ers. Their defensive line gets after Brock Purdy and makes his life miserable. Eagles take the throne. Eagles take the throne as the number 1 team in the league.
Don't fucking listen to him for that one. He's throwing you guys for the loop.
Jimmy G gets his revenge against the Patriots. The Raiders beat the Patriots.
I agree.
Ooh, Lions at Bucks. Shit. I thought this was going to be easy. Give me the Buccaneers because they're at home. I think Vita Vea and that defensive line get after it against the Lions. Okay. Rams beat the Cardinals. I think the Rams are a lot better than we thought they were going to be. The Philadelphia Eagles will obviously beat the New York Jets.
I fucking pray you guys lose to the fucking Jets, bro.
Bills beat the Giants, and as much as I hate to say this, I do think the Cowboys come back focused. They still got a good team. I know you're frustrated by them, but I think they beat the Chargers.
No, Kellen Moore is going to come back home and say, remember, he's our old offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's right. And he's got Justin Herbert and the Chargers. That's a tough game to pick because I think the Chargers also are a team that's constantly underachieving.
Yeah. I mean, look, they do this to us, right? This is what the fuck they do to me. They put me Monday night. Like this shit. Like, put me for the rest of the year. Just put Cowboys 3 p.m. on a fucking Sunday, so it's not the primetime games anymore. Like, please, I don't want to fucking get everyone texting me the eye emojis. I hate that shit.
And you're trying to go to bed. It's like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
you're pissed off. It's
this fucking shit, bro. Yeah, I like that, man. George, man, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, man.
We'll definitely bring you back again. Guys, make sure you follow us on subscribe on YouTube at In Those We Trust. Follow us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Apple Music as well. Follow us on the Instagram at WeTrust_podcast and follow George on the Instagram at
GDAD15, baby.
I just couldn't say it. GDAD15. Crazy. Hey, but trust up, guys. Thank you.
Oh yeah.